God has been faithful to me and really good. He has been merciful to me. There was a time that I experienced personal loss, and it really weighed my spirit down. It distressed my soul. And I found myself in a series of a downtrodden path that was really detrimental to my life. I found myself in drugs, substance abuse. I found myself in anger and bitterness, thinking that maybe God had forsaken me. I found myself in a rock bottom place, and to a point that I had suicidal thoughts also. But God was faithful, and God took me out of that miry clay. It was a miry clay. They were chains of the enemy. They were wiles of the enemy that were enemies to my destiny, or to my life, or to what God had purposed for me. And so I found myself on this rock bottom, which I really needed help, but I didn't know who would help me out. I thought my family were not understanding what I was going through. I thought no friend would come into touch or have an idea of how to draw me from that. But I thank God because where we human beings come short, where we fall short, God has a way of drawing us out. And God has a way of taking us out of that miry clay and setting our feet on a solid ground, a firm foundation, which is Christ Himself. I'd like us to engage in a subject that may be helpful to you and to me. When I was in this kind of situation, I had the desire to change, but I was in a helpless situation. I had a desire to see things change, or to see things go differently than what I was experiencing. But I had no strength to draw myself out of that. And I thought friends and family would help me do that. But God ultimately had the final say. You see, the word says in Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 6, "And the Lord our God said to us at Horeb, you have stayed long enough at this mountain." Verse 7, "Break camp and advance into the hill country of the Amorites. See, I have given you this land. Go in and take possession of the land that the Lord swore He would give to your forefathers." So there reached a time that the Israelites were really dwelt at Mount Horeb, or in other words, it's Mount Sinai. And God is telling them to break camp and to advance. And I'd like us to share on this subject matter tonight. Break camp and advance. Break camp and advance. And maybe just a highlight is that we ought to move we ought to move in faith. We ought to leave behind stagnation. We have to advance. If God blesses you with a child, you expect certain stages of development. And if those stages are not evident, we will start seeing a kind of stagnation, and we will start worrying, and we will start getting concerned about it. I had this desire to change, but I had no strength to move out of that quagmire or that miry clay. There had to be something greater than just believing, and so that God would touch and bring about the change. 1 Corinthians 13, love is the greatest. Hebrews 11, faith is profound. You have to have faith in order to please God. You have to have the confidence of the things not seen by these physical eyes, but with the eyes of faith. In Romans 5, that hope is their smaller sister of the three. But you expect that maybe faith and love, the big sisters, will be leading. But it is hope, their smaller sister, that holds both their hands, both the hands of the elder sisters, faith and love, and leads the way. And we find this with Bartimaeus, son of Timaeus. And like the woman with the issue of blood, they all have hope. They have hope that they can receive their miracle, their healing, because Jesus Christ is in their city. So hope leads their way, that if only if I touch him, I will be healed, I will be well. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me, Bartimaeus. So their faith moves them to action. They not only hear that Christ is in their city, but they start to speak to themselves, I will go and touch the hem of his garment, and I will be well. He hears Jesus is just passing by, and he calls out, Jesus, have mercy on me. So it moves them into action. So it's not just believing, but actually speaking it out and handling with confidence what we hope for. You see, when I was stuck in drugs, alcohol, and those issues of life, anger, bitterness, I would hope somebody would help me out. But I had nothing cultivated within myself of what will move me out of this issue. And so that is where family started speaking faith into my life, prophesying into my life. You are not going to be destroyed by this situation. God has a plan for you. And so they started speaking life into my life. And I had to hear this over and over again. And faith had to be built up in me. And I had to agree with the plan God has for me, and so that transformation can begin.